And we're back. I'm Julie Duncan, and you're watching The Power of One More on Now Media Television. Let's dig deeper into the journey of becoming. Welcome back to The Power of One More. In this segment, we're tackling a topic that makes many business owners uncomfortable: pricing. So many people undercharge out of fear, guilt, or habit. Today, Crystal is helping us break that cycle and step confidently into value-based pricing. Viewers often avoid raising prices, apologize for the rates, or undervalue themselves. They need empowerment, not spreadsheets. So, Crystal, what's one more simple shift that helps people raise their prices without feeling guilty?
If you're struggling with raising your prices, and a lot of business owners struggle with this. Well, I'll say entrepreneurs. Typically, business owners who are running a profitable business don't struggle with the guilt of pricing, right? But if you are, here's what I challenge you to do, or here's what I know to be true. If you're struggling with increasing your prices or charging a certain amount for your product or service, you clearly haven't defined or understand the value of your product or service, right?
Amen.
Or maybe you do, and it's not that valuable. So we need to add some value, right? I worked with a photographer who did not want to build and grow and scale a business. She just wanted to create a business that provided a good income for her and her family. And she was new to the area, new to photography, and she was charging. How much time do we have? Wait for this. So she would come on site. She had a makeup artist, a wardrobe expert. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Do an entire day photo shoot. The end product, if you will, was an entire album, printed album, the digital copies, and the copyright. Okay? Take a guess what she charged.
$100. I'm just
This
really
is probably
guessing.
8 years ago. $300. Wow. Because she said, I'm new. I'm just breaking into the market, right? I'm not right. And she said, and who's going to pay me more than $300 for a book and some digital copies? So what I would challenge your viewers to think about today when they're pricing, if they're feeling, guilty or don't feel like they can charge enough, you need to, your buyers need to understand the value, not just the tangible book, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of intangible value that comes with it. So I said, listen, number one, she said, anybody can take pictures and put it in a book. And I said, well, if anybody could take pictures and put it in a book like you do, they wouldn't need you. So either we quit because we don't need you, or we decide why do they need you? What value do you bring, right? So we built a package that showed all the value, right? It includes an on-site visit, includes X amount of hours of photo shoot, includes 8 hours of photo editing, includes print, includes makeup artists, includes wardrobe, suddenly we have a much more valuable package. By the way, she was losing money on by the time she paid the makeup artist and paid the wardrobe person, forget about the amount of hours. Like she thought she was getting carpal tunnel. She was working, she was paying other people, and okay. So she said, I don't know what to do. How do I increase my price? I said, we're going to start by adding a zero. We're going to go from 300 to 3,000. She about fell out, right? I love to shock people. It's so much fun. So she was very scared. She said, Crystal, I'd be lucky to get one job. I said, good. How many are you getting now? She said, like 10. Right. You can do one and make a profit, or you can do 10 and starve. In a nice, loving way. Yeah. Always to build you up, never to tear you down. So fast forward to today, not even today, this was probably 2 or 3 years ago. It was $6,000 to hire, and she had a wait list. Oh. Right? So part of it is the value. Part of it is, do your clients understand the value that you bring, right? Yes. Not just the book, right? And the other part is, can you articulate that? Yes. In a way that shows the value. And then when you know the value of your product or service, there is no guilt. right? There's no guilt associated with that.
That is such a profound story and such a perfect example of that, of why we should never apologize for our prices, because we know the value, but we also need to know the self-worth of ourselves, what we bring to the table, and the worth of our business and our service.
Absolutely.
So perfect example, Crystal.
But if you don't know, you got to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Right? Sit down with a piece of paper or your iPad, whatever
Yes.
mechanism you use to take notes.
Yes.
And begin to list out the tangible and
Yes.
intangible and the value that you bring to the table, especially in a service-based industry. Same thing for a product-based industry. But I don't know if business owners, if we take the time to do that. And there's so much value in determining the value.
I remember about 5 years ago when I was starting Empowering Life Coaching, and my coach said, okay, what are you going to charge? And it was the biggest gasp in all of creating an LLC. And I just gasped. He said, okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back next week and you're going to tell me your worth.
Interesting.
It was powerful.
Yeah.
And it really made me dig deep. And what's the value that I'm bringing to the table?
Yeah.
And that's what business owners need to do, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Great example, Crystal. All right. So what's one more mindset or belief someone can practice to feel confident saying their price out loud? And I feel like we've just talked about that, but can you flesh that out for the viewers a little bit more?
Well, listen, if you're not comfortable in saying your price out loud, you don't understand the value of your own product or service. Or maybe, again, you maybe need to add value, right? Something you can do, right, outside of, if you're not comfortable saying it out loud, you got, either you're not adding enough value, giving enough value, or you don't know the value, right? Yeah. We have to flesh that out. Yeah. But the other thing is, so I've had clients that, we're $200 an hour. No, you're $200 for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So we fleshed that out. But the other thing we did was I took them out of invoicing. I was like, you are no longer allowed to invoice your clients. We hired somebody to invoice because a business owner wanted a discount. Right? So we hired somebody to invoice. The second thing that you can do is, if you don't want to say your price out loud, you let the world see your price out loud. Put it on the internet. It's on your social media. It's on your brochures. It's on all of your media, right? It is what it is. And if people don't find value in it, then you're not going to spend your wheels apologizing or trying to explain why the investment is the way it is. By the way, it's an investment. It's not a cost, right? You're investing in something in yourself, in a product or service.
So viewers, you're hearing this firsthand from Crystal Smith, the founder and owner of Crystal Clear Business Strategies, who's been in business for how many years?
Oh my goodness. We launched the firm in 2013.
2013. So we can do the math.
Simple math is 25 years. Or 12 years in 2025. Next year will be 13 years. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and I met her way back when. So I feel like we're in a business workshop. So thank you for pouring into the viewers. There's so much value here.
You're so welcome. We live and breathe it. Life is too short to do anything other than what you love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Crystal, what's one more small step someone can take today to bring energy and hope back into their business? I love those words, energy and hope. They're powerful.
Yeah, it's a great question. Here's what I challenge you to start with. To ask yourself, what is it that's kind of sucking the energy and the hope out of my life, right?
Yes.
Because it might not be the business, right? It might be, again, just a piece of the business. Like what's taking your energy and your hope? Do you feel like you're struggling because you're working 100 hours a week? Are you struggling because you don't have any time with your family? Are you struggling with, we're not profitable? What is it that's stealing your hope and joy, right?
Sure.
What is it? Let's start there. If we can start there and we can fix that challenge, then we can get a little peace and joy, or energy and hope back.
Yeah. If you can't identify it, how can you fix it?
Yep,
right?
Exactly.
Okay. So, Crystal, before we move on, where can viewers find to connect with you, learn more about Crystal Clear Business Strategies, and I know the wonderful resources you have, because this audience is going to want to access you and your information. So please share.
Okay. Well, can I share with you all the resources we have available?
Of course you can share. Yay. This is exciting because I know.
So, and then I'll tell you where you can find them.
Yeah.
So we have free business strategy videos. We have an entire video library that you can access, maybe say, hey, I need to increase leads. I need to increase profitability. We have quick, usually under 10-minute videos that give you business strategies on how to do that. If you're more the like, I need to download something and then I want to handwrite on it or download it and fill it in online, we have free downloads available. We have free business tools, templates available online. We have online courses. So if you're kind of like that, I want to do this at my own pace in my own office or maybe, comfy on your couch. We have online courses for Small Business Academy. We have 30-day challenge courses. So there's just a plethora of resources for small business owners. And to access any of those, you can go to our website, and it's crystalclearbusiness.com. Now, listen, God blessed me with amazing parents who spelled my name a little differently. So I'm going to spell it for you. It's Crystel, clearbusiness.com.
And I also know that you're an Amazon best-selling author. So how do people access your books?
So that's a great question. All of our books and business books are available on Amazon. But again, if you go to the website, everything's on the website. We have the books listed there. There's a link that you can grab them. Yeah, so they're all available online. And just go to our website, Crystal with an E, clearbusiness.com.
And I've been gifted, excuse me, with a couple of those books, and I know they're amazing. So viewers, I hope you'll tune into what Crystal has available. There's a plethora of information there. Coming up next, burnout. We'll discuss how one more act of self-care can be the turning point that keeps a business alive and a leader grounded. We'll be right back with more stories, strategies, and inspiration to help you press beyond what seems possible. This is the Power of One More on Now Media Television.